This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear.
Cringe With Me brings you all the best cringy, funny, and relatable content you could ask for. From the best of Reddit to the most outrageous advice columns, Ryan and V have a grand story to tell you. Check us out every Wednesday, your favorite podcast directory, and by the end, you'll cringe with me.
All right, so today I have the story, or in this case, it's more of a question, a list, if you will, of strange things. Today's topic is what's legal, but if you do it, you still look like a psychopath.
Oh my god, where is this from?
This is from Reddit.
This is from Reddit?
Yes, it's from Reddit.
What's subreddit?
I believe it's from Ask Reddit.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, I believe it's from Ask Reddit. I actually don't scroll through this as much as I probably should. I probably be doing a lot more of that now.
Well, I mean, you got to.
Yeah, now
it's an episode a week now.
Yeah, now it's part of the daily grind. So some of these I found rather interesting, and I wanted to talk about them because I think some of them fall into the category of this is just legitimately weird, and some of them fall into the category of social convention. Does it make sense or not?
Okay.
So I'm going to go through some of these things, and I feel like we can talk about each one of them. So the first one that actually got I think it got like gold for the response, which is interesting because I don't think it's actually the best of these, but using both hands to put on chapstick, which really to me seems like more of a logistical challenge than a psychopathic thing.
Yeah, no, I could see somebody, especially if you have like a disability, needing to use both hands. I know sometimes when my hands get out of whack with my cerebral palsy, there's just no makeup to be done. See,
that makes sense. I could see you want a steady hand and the steadying hand.
Tomorrow I'm going to do my whole makeup routine with both hands.
Okay, I would like to hear how that goes because I am very curious.
I'll post it on the YouTube channel that accompanies the show. Okay,
all right. I appreciate that. But again, so do we think this makes you look like a psychopath?
Maybe incapable, but not psychopathic.
Okay, I'm going to agree with that. I don't think it makes you look like a psychopath. Next one, rather interesting one. Flying a kite at night. Now, my first reaction is, that seems kind of weird, right? Like, why are you flying a kite at night? However, an exception, if the kite has lights on it, that sounds really cool.
That sounds awesome, yes.
Right? That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm going to fly a light up kite. Sounds maybe a little treacherous if there's trees nearby because you won't be able to see the...
Okay, I just had a thought. What if somebody thinks it's a UFO?
Oh, you know what? I mean, with all the conspiracy theories that abound these days and how they seem to get dumber and dumber, I am totally fine with putting the ideas of UFOs in someone's head because I personally would love to go back to the old school conspiracy theories that at least had some semblance of sense, like aliens.
Well, I mean, it's not that they had to... I used to have an FM radio show where I talked about conspiracy theories back when conspiracy theories were fun.
Yeah, when they didn't involve the Earth being flat.
Yeah, it was great. I talked about how Avril Lavigne was actually a robot or a clone.
Well,
that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that was never proven. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So it's like, I'd also be down with getting, alien in somebody's head as long as I'm not, like, brainwashing them.
Yeah, bring back aliens.
Yeah,
I think
bring back aliens.
Bring back UFOs, please. Cool. So the next one, this one I like. Offering candies to kids with a van with homemade logos.
Oh.
So this is obviously a social faux pas, right? There's a whole lot to unpack there.
No.
But is it illegal? No, it's not.
I would think that it would be illegal to give stuff to kids. Because, okay, as somebody who works with children, I am not allowed to hug a child to console them when they're crying at school.
Okay. So we're saying maybe this is illegal.
It could be. Don't quote me on it. I'd have to look it up. But there's a lot of laws surrounding what you can and can't do with children that aren't yours without parental consent. So
the reason that I think this is probably not illegal, because if it is illegal, Halloween is illegal. Because kids do not require adult supervision to be trick-or-treating, and they are taking candy from strangers.
Some counties, they are.
Okay, in some so it might be a county thing.
Yeah, it might be a county.
Okay.
No, because it's a school district. Not school district. It's a California school law that keeps me from hugging children. So I think it would be for your actual area.
Okay, because
where the laws come in.
I've never heard of, and again, maybe this has changed. I am older. I've never heard of it being a legal requirement for children to be chaperoned while they are trick or treating.
It wasn't a thing when we were kids, but
Yeah.
I have a niece and a nephew, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are at the age where I would go out by myself just riding bikes around the town.
Yeah.
At 10 and 7. I think I started that around the age 6.
Mm-hmm.
That is child neglect currently in Contra Costa County.
Wow. Okay.
And I only know this because my sister was complaining about it when her kids turned 4 and 5. Now, she would never let them go out by themselves, I think, even when they, like, turned teens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she was surprised by, like, how much regulation there is with child rearing in a way that wasn't a thing when we were children.
Interesting. So this might be an outdated response.
It might be an outdated response. It also might be in a county where there's less oversight.
True, because I bet there are places in the United States where this is not illegal.
Yeah,
Let's
I
put
bet
it
there's
that way.
places. But I'd question.
Yeah.
If you want to be that person in that van, you better check your local laws first.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a good moral to take away from this. Although, again, final question with it, though. This is a social faux pas. We can agree on that.
Oh, absolutely.
But my follow-up is it a social faux pas because a few people have ruined it for everyone else? Or is it a social faux pas because it is actually a bad thing to do?
No, it is actually a bad thing to do because you don't know those kids' food allergies. You could kill a kid by giving him a peanut.
Yeah, that's a great
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, creepy old men aside,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't just give food to children who aren't old enough to speak. Like,
Yep.
I
Definitely
have
agree
a
with
lot
that.
of food allergies, and I eat shit I was allergic to all the time. I still do, but I'm able to take care of myself now in a way that I couldn't when I was younger.
Okay. No, this. I think this. I'm in 100% agreement. Food allergies is a very important thing. So yeah, I think we're gonna say offering candies to kids with a band with homemade logos is both illegal some places and a bad idea. All right, cool. This is actually psycho behavior. Good. All right. So instead of holding the door open, shut it right after you enter or exit. So you know there's people behind you, a couple paces behind you. Open the door and shut it right behind you.
Oh, that's so rude. That's so rude.
It's incredibly rude. Is it psychopathic? It's definitely legal.
That is totally legal. Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Why would you do that? Just to hurt their feelings, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or maybe to like slow them down so they don't. Like maybe this is like God, I'm blanking on the name of the movie, but the Schwarzenegger movie where he's trying to get the toy for his kid.
Oh my god, yeah, like
Jingle All the Way, is that it? Something like that. But yeah, the idea that like you're trying to keep people out so you can get first dibs on whatever you're trying to grab from the store. Maybe they're running out of things. I could see. Doesn't make it okay.
No,
but
absolutely.
I could see maybe some reasoning. Otherwise, I'm like, why would you even do this?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Which lends itself towards being psychopathy if there's absolutely no reason behind it.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Stop responding mid-sentence, but maintain eye contact.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I'm laughing is because he's doing that to me right now, really intensely looking into my eyes.
But I didn't stop mid-sentence.
So you did not.
If I were to stop mid-sentence,
I'm so uncomfortable.
Okay, cool. So it's definitely something that we find uncomfortable. But why do we find it uncomfortable?
I think it's the intensity of the stare.
Okay.
It's just like you're sitting there waiting, so you're looking at them like, okay, I'm ready for the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
And then it never comes, but they're looking at you expectantly to
Yeah.
carry on the conversation.
I do think it's scary if they don't intend to ever finish the sentence, right? Like that seems a little psychopathic to
Yeah,
me.
like why? Just give me a reason why. Now, if you're wanting to creep them out for like third-party reasons, okay, I can see that. But if you're doing it for no reason,
Yeah. It's funny. I think I have had the moments where I've been partway through a sentence and then decided, you know what? I don't want to finish the sentence. It's not going anywhere. My point is gone. It's not going to make sense.
Do you continue maintaining eye contact
No.
in that situation?
But I don't maintain eye contact. And if someone's like, what was that? I was like, it was going nowhere. Sorry. Like, yeah, just
You
that
look
thought was
down
done.
in shame.
Yeah. And usually it's the kind of thing you announce. You're like, you know what? Never mind. This is going nowhere. I'm sorry. Like, I'm out. But yeah, no. Stopping mid-sentence, awkwardly making eye contact and not explaining yourself. Pretty psychopathic. I like it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And next one. Eating a banana with the skin on.
That's a talent.
Is it?
Oh, I can barely eat a banana as is. They's nasty.
Okay. For people who enjoy eating a banana, So for me, eating with skin on seems crazy because isn't the skin, I feel like it's not good for you.
I feel like you should Google that.
Okay. I'm going to look that up real quick.
I know, like, certain fruits, it doesn't make a difference. Like, you can eat an orange, rind and all. But you shouldn't eat apple cores.
Right, because there's arsenic in the seeds.
Yeah, it won't kill you, but it might upset your tummy.
Banana peels are not only edible, but also rich in several key nutrients, including potassium, dietary fiber, polyunsaturated fats, and essential amino acids.
So you should definitely eat your banana rind on if you eat bananas.
Yeah, so, so they're not poisonous, they are edible.
So it's a social faux pas.
It is a social faux pas. Because, yeah, if I see someone take a banana and just, like, take a bite out of it, I'm going to be like, what the heck's going on here? Like, what did you just do? Why?
I don't eat my apples like that. I cut up my apples like civilized lady.
Oh, you don't just... See, I feel like there's a certain... You know how, like, in the 50s through, like, kind of the 80s, smoking was a sign of, like, status. Like, you'd see someone smoking and you're like, whoa, that person looks so cool. I feel like when I see someone just taking a bite of an apple, it just makes them feel very cavalier, very laid back to me. I'm impressed by this person because they're eating an apple.
Okay,
I might be alone in that.
You might be alone in that, but I'm going to test that out. Next time I see you, I'm going to maintain eye contact.
Just eat an apple in front of me, and we'll see how much more impressed I am with you after that.
Yeah, you might start hanging out with me outside of the podcast.
It's bold of you to assume I can have more regard for you than I have now.
Oh, okay, I see. I see how it is.
Okay, so eating banana with skin on, is it psychopathic? I don't know if it's psychopathic. Social faux pas. It's good for you.
Absolute social faux pas.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
Okay. This one's a fun one. Writing an S from the bottom up.
I just think that's talent.
Right? I feel like that's just some interesting mental programming.
Yeah, like, that's cool. Way to go. Backwards S writer?
Or like maybe poor teaching. Because like they teach okay, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say poor teaching. That's a judgment. I'm not going to pass yet. So they teach you handwriting in school, and they teach you how to write each letter, like the strokes, right? I don't know if you remember that, but I remember like being taught the strokes. And I know some of them I do not do correctly. I can't blank recall which letters, but I know when I watch other people write, I'm like, I do my letters different than 90% of people for some reason.
That happens as you get older, because the strokes are to teach you the basics of the shape.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't that imply that the implication is that there's a correct way to do each letter? And I'm not actually sure that there is, as long as the letter is legible.
That's the thing, if the letter is legible. And it's the same thing with typing. Mm-hmm. There's like the proper way where people learn how to type. Then everybody learns their own method after that. And as long as you can keep pace, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's like actually a functional reason for it. Like, let's say the way we learn to write letters always ends with the last stroke being upper rather than lower. Then it makes sense that you just move sideways and start the letter at the top rather than the bottom. The reason is for smudging.
It started with penmanship because you would have the feathered ink. Now, I learned this because of a calligraphy class I was in college. It's a way for you to write the letters without the possibility of you smudging them.
That makes so much sense.
And calligraphy is awful. Don't do it.
I have no interest in calligraphy.
I mean, our listeners, don't do it. Your life and your mental sanity is worth more than drawing pretty letters.
I appreciate this advice because my handwriting is not great. It just needs to be legible.
It just needs, that's all that matters.
Also, in the days of handwriting kind of dying, it feels like, maybe this is not psychopathic. Maybe this is just, function at this point.
I think it's just a cool trick writing it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Cool trick, not psychopathic. All right, this one's fun. Eating a hot dog sideways. So rather than start at the end, just like holding it like a sandwich in front of you and just taking a bite out of it.
I did that to make a guy I was on a date with feel very uncomfortable because he was making me feel very uncomfortable, and goddamn it, did it work.
It worked? Okay.
He never talked to me again, and I was so happy.
Wow. See, now these are the kind of tricks they should be teaching, right? Like.
Well, my other trick is when a guy creeps me out, I let him know that I'm looking for a father figure for my 10 kids. Only 4 of them share the same father. So it'd be great to have somebody consistent in their life.
Oh my God.
Nothing will make somebody run faster.
I feel like the problem is the few people where that doesn't work, it's going to backfire real hard.
Well, yeah. See, I used to say, oh, I'm 13. I look too old now to do that. But it's like, when they're still interested, that's when I just got to run. Just full on sprint.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing where I'm like, listening to that, I'm like, we could do a whole episode about advice on how to avoid awkward dates or end them. feel like that could be fun.
Oh my god, I was the queen at that. I went on too many dates that I regret. I'm not that old.
Being a masculine person, I did not have that. I had the opposite problem, of course, where it was more about getting dates that I wanted to have as opposed to ending ones I did not want to be on.
Okay, yeah, we'll do a whole separate episode. It's been decided.
Okay, I like that.
So stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Yes. All right, so those are the ones that I thought were fun out of that particular thread, but we decided to each make our own as well.
We'll start with yours.
So I know what that means we're ending on, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we're going to start with mine. So something that is not illegal, but is certainly something I think would make people look at you like a psychopath, is it is not illegal to catch and eat wild rodents such as squirrels, rats, and mice. If you wanted to set up squirrel traps at your house, catch them, fry them up, and eat them, you can do that.
Yeah, my grandfather does that. We were talking about this before the episode. I don't think it's that weird, just because I've seen it my whole childhood.
And again, maybe it's a regional thing, right? I'm willing to accept it might be a regional thing. But I think over here in California...
we're in California. He does this in California.
All right. Well, now, I don't know. I don't want to judge your family, but I would look at that and be like, this person's got some screws loose. Like, there's something going on here.
Okay. I told you about that. I didn't tell you about the roadkill.
Oh, no. That's not real. That's not real, right?
We'll leave it there, people. Yeah. I think it's a regional thing right here.
I think it's pretty crazy. I think it's crazy in context, in our cultural context. I think it is the kind of thing that makes people.
So it's a social faux pas.
Because it to me, it's too close to the kids who mutilate animals and then end up being serial killers, right?
Well,
like it's.
How's that any different than raising chickens to eat, or raising pigs, or raising cow?
No, I recognize that it's different. I'm just saying, in my mind, it's too
or hunting
adjacent.
Ducks. Actually, that's a better way to relate it.
Hunting ducks.
That's the thing that Californians do.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Duck hunting is a thing. Not as big as you'd think, but it's definitely it's not big anymore. It used to be a bigger thing, I think.
I don't know. I don't hunt.
Yeah, I don't either. But I think duck hunting. I think a lot of hunting is kind of trickled down. But I think that's also because the legislation around hunting has gotten more and more restrictive over time, which is to protect species. And pass judgment on that. Just know it's gotten more restrictive. Anyway. I think we'll stand undecided, or at least different opinions on that one.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. For people that think it's weird, it's just this social faux pas that you're not used to.
Oh, well, I think a lot of things that we think of as being psychopathic are social faux pas and cultural, right? I mean, almost everything is taken in a cultural context.
Fucking English major over here.
What?
All right, well, I thought of one that actually is kind of psychopathic. You know how all these were just a little bit fun or funny or something?
Yeah.
Before we sat down to record, I was like, I got one.
Yeah, and I'm not... We're going to end on a dark note, ladies and gentlemen. And others.
Yeah. Disowning or abandoning your children. Totally legal as long as you go through the paperwork. At any age, at any stage of their life, you can just be like, I'm done with you. Goodbye.
This is a sad one.
Ta-da! I win.
I mean, I think this is sad, but I'm not sure it makes you a psychopath. I think it's just a sad thing. I think it depends on the reason too, right? I think there are some people who have a child, because giving up your child for adoption very early on isn't looked at as psychopathic behavior.
No.
It's sad, dark.
What about when they're like 10?
But well, it depends. Are you in a situation where your children are starving and you can't provide for them, and you think that like another legal entity might be able to do better than what you were doing?
Let's say you're a celebrity.
Ooh, okay. If you have the means to care for someone and you disown them, I absolutely think that is atrocious behavior. I think that is very, very bad.
Is it better or worse if they do or don't love the child?
Oh God, that's got so much context. I'm not sure I can answer that. I think that depends.
Yep, psychopathic.
No, it's not. It's not. Let's say you're a drug addict and you don't have like.
I thought we were talking about a rich celebrity parent.
Okay, rich celebrity parent. Yeah, no, I mean they have the means. They could hire somebody to do it, and they just if they're going to disown their child, I think that's pretty messed up. Yeah.
Okay. So now going down avenue, you're talking about drug addicted.
Yeah, I'm saying if you can't provide for or you actively are aware that you are providing a terrible environment to raise a child in, and you realize like, wow, I am going to cause way more harm to this person than being in the system, which is already a pretty difficult place to be. You know, if you honestly think you cannot turn your life around and you are providing a worse situation, then maybe disowning your child is actually the ethical thing to do. I don't know. I could see it being argued.
I love how you're trying to like brighten this up.
Well, it started so dark, it's not hard to go up from here.
Great, I set a low bar, everybody. Isn't that great? We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Connect with us. Follow us on social media: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at Cringe With Me. Everything is linked in the description of this podcast. Cringe With Me podcast is a production of Pull Up a Chair Foundation. All opinions in this podcast belong to the host and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network.
I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear.
Hello, I am Patrick,
And I'm Andrew. And I'm Christian.
And I'm Allie.
and we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.